Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Lycan Studios. Sorry I haven't uploaded a video in a few days. I've been extremely busy. I'll talk about it here in just a little bit, but today we're going to be taking a look at some Game of Thrones Season 8 news and some in-game theories. So on the last Game of Thrones video, I actually asked for 50 likes. You guys hit the thumbs up button 115 times. That is insane. So on today's video, we're going to shoot for another 100 and see how we do, but I appreciate it so much, guys. Thank you a lot. To furthermore show my appreciation, I just wanted to give a couple shout outs to a few people who have been watching my videos from the beginning and always seem to be liking and commenting. Alright, so we have Mel of Winterfell, thank you so much. We have Augusto, Barbara, Turdball, it's a hilarious name, Amelia C, and My Jolly Sailor. Thank you guys so much for always liking the videos and commenting. I really appreciate it so much. And last but not least, before we jump into the video, I just wanted to tell you guys that we did make a Twitter, so definitely check the description below to follow it. We're going to be doing giveaways and all that cool stuff. And also, what would you guys think if I opened up a Patreon page? I could possibly give you guys an insight on what the video is going to be like, feature your guys' comments and stuff in it. Just let me know if you think that would be a good idea and if you would be willing to be involved. But alright, let's jump into the video. First, we're going to talk about some news. So back in November, it looks like 2 new characters were confirmed. They're going to be played by Danielle Galligan and Emmer McDade. Sorry if I did pronounce the names wrong, but anyways, they ended up posting a picture to Instagram with another actress, Alice Noakes. So at the time, we weren't really too sure whether or not she was actually going to be in Game of Thrones, but we found out just the other day that it looks like she's going to be playing a new character named Willa. And also, it looks like it's been confirmed that she's actually going to be in a David Nutter episode, which means she's going to be making an appearance in the first episode, the second episode, or the 4th episode. Now, we have no idea what her character is going to be doing because there's actually no Willas in the book, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. So the second thing, we actually have some more casting news. So it looks like Game of Thrones is currently casting for a military guard for the new season. The character is going to be aged 25 to 35, and the role is open to any ethnicity. The part appears to be a small one, filming for one day, March 2nd, in Northern Ireland. The casting folk are searching for a fit and agile, excellent actor with a good distinctive face. Someone who feels like he can handle himself in a fight. All of that was quoted from Watchers on the Wall. So we're not too sure exactly what this role is going to be either. With a different ethnicity, he could even be part of the Unsullied, or it could be a part of Cersei's army. We'll just have to wait and see, but it looks like a little bit of a significant scene is going to be with some type of guard. So that pretty much wraps up the news that I have for you today. Let's move on to some in-game theories. Now this is actually going to be a summary of a post by TheTriplet on Reddit. It has actually been mentioned in Time magazine as well as a few different Game of Thrones websites. I actually haven't even read this over. I just wanted to make this video with kind of my reaction to it as well. So anyways, let's get into it. I will leave a link to it in the description, and big shout out to TheTriplet for posting this. Alright, so he says, I think that Jaime will convince at least a contingent, if not the entire Lannister army, to join him in going north. That actually could be where he's going right now, to convince an army to go north, because he, unlike Cersei, realizes that, hey, we need to go fight these guys, or they're going to just basically kill us all. The second thing is the combined armies go north and fight the army of the dead, defeating it but at a great cost. However, the Night King and his dragon are not there. But why? They flew south to destroy King's Landing, trading his army of 100,000 for the 1 million in King's Landing, including Cersei. They foreshadowed it too much in the last episode. That would be absolutely insane. So that could actually go on to be the theory with the map room, that she actually looks up and sees the Night King. This comment was actually made by Augusto, who I shouted out previously on one of my last videos. So shout out again, man. So then he goes on to say that Euron and the Golden Company actually arrive at King's Landing to a trap, where they are also killed and join the Night King's army. Then Dany finds out she's pregnant, so Bran and Sam keep Jon's parentage a secret after Dany and Jon declare they are getting married. Or at least they tell Jon, who doesn't have a chance to tell Dany before the end. Man, I really hope that doesn't happen. I want them to both know what's going on. But then this is absolutely insane. He says Jaime ends up at the end killing Cersei to fulfill the prophecy in the last battle. He survives to become the 1000th Lord Commander and restore the Wall and honor the Night's Watch. I just can't really see them throwing Jaime in the Night's Watch, but you never know. Obviously, Daenerys is not really going to like him. So then it says Bronn survives and gets the twins when it's all over, which would actually fall right in with that other plot leak, as Tyrion is good to his word to double what he is being paid. which Jaime said 1 castle, so he ends up giving him 2. The Hound survives and stays with Tyrion, who retires as Hand of the Queen and goes back to Casterly Rock as its lord. He changes the Lannisters' wealth from gold to wine as he opens his vineyard there and becomes rich by supplying the 7 kingdoms. Remember, there's always a Clegane to help a Lannister, so the Hound goes with him. I could see it, especially if there was wine involved. He says, Clegane Bowl never happens because they hate us, or would it be Clegane Bowl? I think he may have just missed an E. I'm not too sure, but basically the Hound versus the Mountain. And then it says Gendry survives and is legitimized by Jon or Dany. This one I definitely agree with. I don't think House Baratheon is going to end that easily. But that does make it quite a bit harder for the Stark name to live on. Definitely check out one of my last videos talking about the fates of the great houses if you want more information on that. Then he says the bittersweet ending is that Dany gives birth to a child, maybe even twins, but dies in childbirth or shortly after. Jon becomes king of the 7 kingdoms, but loses another love of his life and raises his children/child. I really just hope that Dany doesn't die during childbirth. Like, I feel like she's made it this far. Like, give her a good death. Don't let her just bleed out while she's birthing some children. Not cool. Then he says, in the battles, all the dragons die. However, in some last scene, it's discovered that they laid eggs before the last battle. Yeah, I don't feel like dragons are going to die out. Somehow, they will end up with more dragons. Which kind of foreshadows to me that the Targaryens will live on, and it looks like the Starks may not. So then after that, he actually has an edit where he's added back some stuff in and some things that people have said in the comments. The first one is that Sam is actually writing the story, and the last scene is him putting the book away after telling the story to someone, maybe his grandkids, and he'll be played by George R.R. Martin. Oh, that's really good. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, I haven't really read this before. Like, I'm reading it as I'm obviously making this commentary, and that one kind of like made me really smile. Like, that would be awesome. He does deserve to, you know, be in that last scene. So then Jon declares that there are no more bastards, foreshadowed by the conversation with Mel and Davos on Dragonstone. That's a pretty good concept. I guess he would just have to make it to where, like, unless you're an orphan, you automatically just get the name that your parent has. It might be a little tricky though. Next is that Gendry helps reforge Valyrian steel or works in dragonglass into weapons to help win the war. He is made legit by Jon and ends up getting Storm's End. I think that's most likely, like 99% chance of happening. Gendry is going to end up forging the weapons for the war. So then Arya is going to use that Valyrian dagger to save someone important from a White Walker, perhaps Sansa or Gendry. That's pretty, I mean, that could definitely happen. That's very, like, generalized. Jorah is either going to die or die. So basically he's saying there's no hope for poor Jorah. Sweet Robin somehow becomes a great fighter. I don't really know about that one. That's a long shot. I feel like the kid is messed up, and he's like even worse in the books. Then he says that the Citadel is actually overran by White Walkers, and Sam ends up being the Grand Maester after it's all over. I could definitely see that happening. He's shaping up to be pretty much one of the most intelligent people on the show that you've been able to see. And then the oath of not taking a wife or kids is done away with by Jon for the Kingsguard, Citadel, and then it says whoever. So I'm guessing like the Night's Watch. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not exactly too sure, but Jon is very family oriented, so I could definitely see that happening too. And that is the end of his theories. Those are actually really good. Like the one that really got me, I went back and listened to it. You could actually like hear it in my voice that I wasn't expecting it, is that George R.R. Martin actually is Sam in one of the last scenes and is like closing the book. I think that may be one of the coolest predictions that I've ever heard. I think that would be like one of the only ways that they could really just pay homage to George R.R. Martin for creating this world, making a lot of people rich, getting a lot of people's like career started, like changing lives like with this world that he's created, and literally just blowing our minds like season in and season out. After rereading a couple of these, I definitely think that some are kind of a long shot, but I would say like 98% of them could definitely happen, and probably about 90% of them I actually want to happen. I don't really want Daenerys to die in childbirth. You guys know how I feel about that. Like, I kind of want it to be a little bit of a happier ending, but I'm just not too sure if that'll happen. But anyways, definitely let me know what you guys think about all of these in-game theories or predictions or whatever you want to call it. I definitely want to hear your guys' comments. But anyways, this has been Lycan Studios. We'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to try to do my best to like get a better like consistent schedule. I just work a lot. My schedule kind of bounces around. I'm an RN. I work 12-hour shifts and like every other weekend, so it just gets kind of difficult sometimes, especially being a dad and a husband too. But anyways, enough of that rant. We'll see you guys in that next video. Peace.